3 days in and out. You want to start? I'll shut up then. I'll be quiet.
It is 6 o'clock. We're here tonight for the Architectural Review Board, so we're going to call the meeting to order. It's 6 o'clock. We'll start with the roll call of members.
Mrs. Fraser?
Here.
Mr. Gillian?
Here.
Mr. Markovitz?
Here.
Mr. Midley?
Here.
Mr. Sharma?
Here.
And it is June 2nd, 2022. We have 4 cases on our agenda tonight. Is there anyone here from the public who would like to participate or speak that does not have a case number? Okay, then we'll be able to take the first case. Case 220418. That's at 9184 Darrell Road.
How you doing? Leon Sampat, LS Architects, 22082 Lorraine Road, Fairview Park, Ohio. So we're here to represent Dr. Holt. She's moving her practice she's currently located in Chicago. She's moving home. She has family here in the area, so she's moving back here. We are proposing a approximately 3,400 square foot structure, 1-story structure, to house her practice. And she is an orthodontist. We'll have 6 operatory chairs, 2 consultation rooms, and we are proposing 25 parking spaces. We've laid out the site for 2 additional buildings, which would be something that would be, she just wanted to understand what is possible with the land. Right now, we are only looking at phase 1, which is her building. So that structure is what we have here. I have a larger rendering here of it. We are proposing a brick structure. It's a white brick. We'll have flat hardy panels and AZAC trim, and the black brick metal awnings at the entrance. The taller part of the building is about 21 foot tall, and the lowest part of the building is 13. I don't know if anybody's got any questions on the design or the.
Is the brick standard brick that's been painted white, or is
No, here's a sample of it here.
Okay, so it'll have traditional browns.
Correct.
And then the white brick.
Yes.
Okay.
And I do have the hardy plank, which would be black, but and then it would just be black brick metal.
And all of the brick is the white brick.
Correct. All the brick would be white. At one point, I think we submitted a couple months ago with some grays, but the doctor preferred to be all white and black only.
Okay.
You guys might not have even seen that submittal.
No, we didn't. We
Okay,
only saw
so-
the most recent. but
Okay, so
submitted.
there was some additional awnings over these windows. They project out about 1.5 feet. Unfortunately, after she saw the cost associated with those awnings, she really likes them and she plans to put them in the future, but it just wasn't in her budget for now.
Yeah.
So
The hardy board, that's all like, is that full sheets or they?
yes, full sheets, well, butt joints and
And it's painted now, right?
correct. But it's actually pre-finished from the factory.
All right,
So
that's what I was wondering.
yeah, so we'll get it pre-finished.
Yeah, good. That's the way to do it.
Yeah, and then that way it's got the factory warranty. So.
So seeing the rendering and elevations, when I saw which piece of property this is the one that's right out in front of Wilcox Elementary School.
That's correct.
And we've seen the for sale signs up, everybody knows that something was going to go in there. I was thinking that it was oriented differently on the site and that this glassy corner would be anchoring the street corner. But when looking at the site plan, I can see that the glassy corner is anchoring the driveway to this property off of Darrow Road. It's not the street corner.
Correct. And that's because that's her main entrance. So we want that to read as the entry for the building. So if it was reversed, the patients would have to walk a lot further.
Around the building.
Yes, and that was, her concern was just getting the patients. You know, most families that come in for orthodontics work, it's younger kids and families, so.
You want to park close to it.
Correct. So and usually the appointments are quick. So there's,
Not pull into the school instead,
Glass
taking
on the
leaks.
building, is that tinted glass? What-
yes, it'd be tinted
It's
glass.
gonna be tinted what color?
Just the gray.
Just the gray?
Yep.
That's a good look.
So we have a rendering of that corner, of the entrance corner. We have a rendering of the street face, which looks good. I may have had some different coloring in it to get those soldier courses to stand out a little bit more.
Yeah, so actually, she did mention if, she asked me to look at doing a black soldier course above the windows, so that way it would kind of mimic the awning that she wants to put there. So if that's acceptable, that's actually what she would prefer to have. And we discussed that
If
today.
she's not putting up the awnings and she likes the idea of black soldier course, that might be nice to do. Otherwise, if you look at it up close, if you look at the elevations, you see all of the coursework that's
Correct.
done to give the brick the texture. But then when you look at it from far away, you're only going to see black squares for windows on a white.
Yeah, so,
base.
and that's where we did talk about that today. So, and she was acceptable to that, and she did want me to mention that if that would be acceptable to her, for her to put the black soldier course just above the windows.
And in that case, it would be an actual black brick.
It
not
would be,
painted brick.
yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, we actually had a black brick picked out for the previous submittal, but, so we would be going back to that.
And you're talking just a soldier course above the window.
The windows, yeah.
One below.
She would not want it across the whole length of the building, because we do have the white soldier course that would remain. This would just be the soldier course above the windows.
Just a soldier course above.
Yep. Actually, we have a couple soldier courses, but,
Okay.
So I think we can put on there that that's.
Yeah.
So then I was gonna say we have renderings of the elevations, except for the elevation that faces Wilcox Drive. That's not in the renderings. We do have, I don't know if it's called Wilcox Drive, I was calling it that, the driveway to Wilcox.
yes, the school. I do have
I do like that the glassy corner faces the downtown. I think that that's oriented, in that case, you can make an argument for that too, as well as it being oriented toward the driveway, it's also oriented toward the downtown. Unlike how Sheets had turned theirs around oriented toward the freeway, and I got a lot of community response later, that
So-
theirs was facing.
that would be the Wilcox Drive entrance.
Right, so we see it there. It has glass, it has some relief.
Yes. And some raised
You can see
height.
how much. Actually, it's interesting, the elevation looks as though it has relief, but then the.
Yeah, I think I noticed that too. It's supposed to have a 1'4".
A 1'4" bump out.
Yes,
On the plan.
yes.
Okay.
Right here.
And that would be basically all of the break room,
Not all of the break room, the majority of it.
majority of it bumps out 1'4",
That's correct.
and that's still within your setback allowance?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, this area is a little, we actually have probably another 5 feet to the setback. You can kind of see it on the site plan, the setback line. It's right here.
Okay. And I'm okay with the building being toward the setbacks because it's in the downtown area and we're trying to encourage walkable.
Yeah.
I like that the parking isn't.
I do like the way they did the garbage bins too. Yeah, and then,
We do have a ground sign too, I should probably mention that.
yeah, I don't, I was
We-
gonna mention that.
We mimicked that with the brick and the,
Are we gonna approve that today?
It's in here, so yes,
Yeah.
it'll be hard.
It's a good package.
Sign. We don't have colors unless it's just
It's-
black.
it's black and then the brick's white. And then the lettering, she wants gold.
Gold.
Yes. So that's same thing on the black AZAC.
Oh, that sign?
I'm talking about the sign on sheet
On the
SD2 also. That's got the same AZAC board. And we have the gold and then the white piers on each side of it.
Okay.
And that'll be ground lit.
traveling on both sides?
On both sides.
So that's not a separate motion for the signing the line, it's all one motion for everything. The garbage, everything.
Everything that's included in the packet.
And the garbage surround, that's white brick also.
That would just be all white brick, yes.
On the site plan, it shows the dumpster enclosure, closer to the setback than the building is.
Yes, and that's what we have, we still have another foot beyond that to the setback.
Could the dumpster enclosure move, I don't know if it's about 3 feet or so that it's not sitting out further than the building?
We could probably, now that, with the bump out shown there, yes, because that would go 1'4" back, and then we'd still have enough room to get the dumpster behind there without sticking out past the parking space. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, we could
I
line it up with
understand you need to
the,
keep it within the parking space, but it looks as though you've got maybe 4 feet or so that you can move it forward and still be.
yeah, we could line it up with the,
But yeah, so
The
the
bump-
dumpster
the bump
enclosure
out.
doesn't, stick
Yeah.
out any further than the building.
Which the doors would probably
So yeah,
swing
that's
out.
like protrude further toward the setback.
The doors might swing out, into that
They
one
would.
parking space on the end,
Oh,
which I don't know if that, as long as they keep them closed and locked.
they should be closed.
Sometimes they don't close them, you see them swinging in the wind.
Yeah, and that's kind of the reason why we kept it closer to the setback, but was to ensure that the doors, if they were open, they weren't past the parking, but.
it's good that the dumpster enclosure is masonry, as is the building.
But I think with the 1'4" bump out, and I think that would bring it pretty close, because we still, from the edge of the parking stall, we still have some space to the edge of the door.
It's pretty complete.
Yeah. Nice package.
Yeah, good job.
I'm okay with it. As is.
Yeah.
Yeah, looks nice.
So the notes, somebody already got it. I'll make a motion to approve it as noted. The notes being that the dumpster enclosure would be moved further from the right of way, ideally not to protrude further than the building. I don't know if it says it in the packet or not. The brick is a white brick, not a painted brick.
We-
The option to add black brick for the soldier course above the windows. The signage on the building is to read Holt Orthodontics in a gold channel letter, individually mounted.
Yes.
The ground sign, does that have black or gold?
It's gold lettering with the black background.
Okay. The ground sign is to have gold lettering with a black background, and the street address numbers at a minimum of 4 inches installed on both sides of the sign near the top. On the north face of the building, the center portion should protrude out 1'4", as was shown on the north elevation, but was missing on the plan.
I'll second the motion.
Mrs. Frazier?
Yes.
Mr. Midlick?
Yes.
Mr. Gillian,
Yes.
Mr. Markovitz,
Yes.
Mr. Sharma.
Yes.
All right, thank you.
All right.
Yes, thank you.
Hey, Jen, are you gonna, am I gonna be bringing back the notes to you this meeting or no?
Read back what?
The notes?
Are we back then?
If you, we discussed it, I mean, we
We
can,
did discuss that because sometimes when we say the notes along the way, this time I restated them at the end.
Okay.
Would you read back the notes?
yeah, I don't mind doing it, or we can just wait till the next meeting and completely start doing that.
Okay.
Is that all right?
Yeah.
Okay.
The question wasn't, but by the time we get to the end of the meeting, make sure that they're noted. Sometimes, we state notes along the way, and if we didn't restate them, we need to make sure we note them. The paper we're signing. Our next case is case 220629. It's at 10735 Ravenna Road, Unit 400.
Hi, I'm Jeff Clark from Easy Signs. There's a new tenant in the building, and we want to reface the existing hand-face sign that's there and take it down, strip off the vinyl, put new transparent blue vinyl up.
Does it light up? Is it internally lit?
I've never been by there at night. It lit up when it was built. I don't know if it still works or not. I'm assuming it does.
Okay. And if it's translucent, the blue would glow too, as well as the
Yeah,
white?
yeah.
I think it looks nice. It's not much of a change from the old one, other than it's a new tenant inside.
It's no change at all, just a different color, different logo, yeah, everything else is the same. We're gonna reuse as much as we can.
I'm gonna make a motion. I'll make a motion to approve case number.
Oh, come on, stretch this out a little longer.
Give me 1 second.
Did you bring a sample of the color blue?
It's on the sheet.
I see.
Do you have a second?
A second.
Mr. Sharma, Mr. Gillian,
Yes.
Mr. Markovitz,
Yes.
Mr. Midlick,
Yes.
Mrs. Frazier.
Yes.
Okay, see you next month, or you meet in 2 weeks?
You have another one coming up?
Yeah, that'll be the next,
Yeah,
2 weeks.
have you submitted everything besides what you have there?
Yeah,
Then yeah, you should, as long as you make the deadline, which I think is Wednesday, so
Okay.
you should be good.
all right, thank you.
Yep.
Okay, our next case is case 220630, which is at 9840 Ravenna Road.
Hi, I'm Mark Coyne, Sarah Coyne's husband. She's the owner of Strawberry Moon. Simple construction, 2x4 frame, Lex in front, and then a vinyl sticker from VSM, our visual marketing system, VMS. And then there's existing power. I'm going to have a company do the installation for us. It is Signarama out of Warrensville Heights. And then the wood frame is going to be wrapped with either LED neon flex or LED strips. That's pretty basic.
And so there'll be a pink glow surrounding the sign,
Only visible at night, really.
but the sign itself is not light up.
No.
And the wood is painted black or covered in something?
Just painted black. Yep.
And you noted to think that there would be a ground sign, ground mounted floodlight.
There are floodlights there. I don't know if they work yet. I just did some trimming to expose them. They were buried by bushes that have been, it hasn't been taken care of in a while. So dug those up. They're waterlogged. Got to figure out if they still power on.
I'll move to approve that submitted.
I'll second it.
Mr. Midlick,
Yes.
Mr. Sharma,
Yes.
Mr. Gillian,
Yes.
Mr. Markovitz,
Yes.
Mrs. Frazier.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay, next we have case 220631. It is at 3503 Cannon Road. New home?
My name is Jeff Hury with Alair Homes. I'm representing a couple that currently live in Washington State. They're from this area. They're selling their property out there and moving back. This is going to be their forever home. So I did make one small change to the site plan. If you guys like a copy of it, all we did was rotate the house about 5 degrees on the lot to take advantage of some of the slope. We basically pushed the corner further uphill so we wouldn't have to have so much fill on it. So.
You can make a note of that.
Which angle did it slope?
That's why I brought copies.
If you're looking from the street, you brought the left side closer, would be my guess. Yeah.
It also presents better on the road. The road curves uphill at that point.
Yeah, when you said you tilted, it looked like the contour lines, I figured it was that way, it looks like it. Just look at it.
I'm good. I don't vote.
Thank you.
So the picture I just showed you has shingles. Where are you planning to put those on?
The whole house is going to be architectural shingles. We're not doing the metal roof.
So it's,
That rendering is not of this house. That was an inspiration photo.
Wait,
okay, we just want to make sure.
Yeah.
this elevation though is current?
That is current.
It is different than the one we were submitted, or that we received before.
We transferred, the topographical survey was completed, so we transferred the grade lines onto the drawings. That should be the only change. And one's printed in color and one's in black and white, but
But there's an addition of another window and door on the right side elevation versus the old one.
once we realized there was an 11-foot drop, we also added the walkout basement.
I see, okay.
Yep.
So the two windows that are on the older.
So you added a basement window and.
And a basement door, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if I answered your question adequately. The entire house will be dimensional shingles, no metal roof. I also have a siding sample if you want to see it. This will be the actual siding color.
So I think we want to work with the set that you just passed out today. That's
Yes,
recent.
yeah.
So I'm gonna set aside the other one.
Except the sample sheet for the siding.
For sidings and the
They're still pertinent.
That sample sheet for the siding is the same as this. It's the same color, same product. This is just a live version.
That looks a little more beige, less tan than
Does it?
the printed copy.
Yeah. That one says oyster shell, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's.
I was going to recommend adding a window in bedroom 2 on the right elevation. I'm not sure where that would align with the window that's in the basement.
And I don't know, the best place, when I was looking at it, before we knew it was a walkout down there, made it look like sort of behind the closet door.
Right, and that
But
actually
I don't know if
looks,
that lines up.
I'm trying to line the sheets on top of each other and see if I can see through it.
The window in the basement can adjust so that the windows are aligned.
That would be nice, if you could do a window in bedroom 2 on the right side elevation, that'll give some penetration up high, and then align the basement window under it. Recommendation would be,
Did you say closer to the closet?
yeah, close to that closet door. If the owners are opposed to that, then the walk-in closet closet as another option, and move it about 3 feet back.
They'll be fine with
Be
it.
okay with that?
Yeah. And if, we would align the windows just for aesthetic reasons, the one above and then the one at the walkout.
Okay.
Walkout. I noticed on the rendering, or the inspirational image that you gave, they had little arched,
Little gingerbread on the porch
yeah,
post?
little gingerbread on the porch. I'm not opposed if those get added back on. I thought it'd give it a nice character, but it's okay without it too. And then the window that you have in the overbuild that looks like a second story but isn't, does that open to the interior space or is that an attic?
It's just, there's no accessible space up there.
Okay.
The window will be blacked off, so you don't, yeah,
You don't see added trusses through the window?
correct.
Okay.
Yep.
The cedar post and, trim.
Yes.
The windows, is that painted differently or is that just straight cedar, clear cedar, not?
It will be stained,
What color?
probably a darker color, a darker cedar. Because we want to contrast
Darker
the,
than the siding.
yeah, we want to do a contrast on that. We don't want to keep it orange like a traditional cedar because
Yeah.
there's just already too much yellow with this. It just won't look right.
Yeah, get some contrast.
On the back, on the back gable, on the front gable, you have a vent, and then on the back, you don't. I know it's the back, but if they were actually functional gables, you'd have on both ends.
It's not functional.
Right, it's not.
Yeah.
But it's supposed to, invoke that characteristic. In that case, you would have had one on that back. They're inexpensive, I probably would put one on just to keep the back looking, the same character.
We just took it off because it faces the woods.
Yeah, but in the back end, when you look up at it, it's a big blank one versus a bit head.
Okay,
Yeah.
I would do it just because it's on the front and it's the.
fair enough.
It's just, if they were functional and this really was a farmhouse, you would have had one on both sides.
You're correct. Yep.
So
I think you should put that up.
you can pretend on both sides.
And the rendering doesn't show it, or the elevations don't show it, but the windows will be black vinyl. And
Okay. Modern farmhouse. And then garage shows windows on it.
Yeah, I like that house. Are you on top of the hill at Camden? Where are you at? Somewhere
Midway up,
midway up?
there's been a vacant lot for sale there for quite a while.
Yeah, there is one on the east side of it.
Yeah, it's not vacant anymore.
Didn't we?
Oh, so we bought that lot.
We did.
Oh, that's the lot you bought.
Yeah.
I would also, you have windows on all faces of, or on, most of the faces here of your garage. Many windows in both the 3-car garage and in the workshop. You don't have a man door.
Yeah, the homeowner did not want
I
one.
think that the elevations look balanced without it. For functionality, I might recommend you put one in, but I don't think it's, in this case, necessary for the aesthetics of you have windows in all the places you would put a door. So.
I'm okay with it, not having a man door. It's both sides.
If the owner decides they'd like one,
He specifically did not want
did
one.
not,
Yeah.
okay, so then you've already discussed it. But you put windows in on all the elevations, so I think that it has, it's avoided blank walls. Somebody want to make a motion, do you want to read back the notes? Are you catching them along the way?
No, I did not get them all, if you don't mind
Okay.
just going over them again.
Okay, so I'll make a motion to approve it as noted. Do you have any other comments you want added to the notes? Comments?
No, I'm good.
Okay, so the ones we've mentioned are that the second story overbuild on the front face would have blackouts on the windows. There would be one additional window on the right side elevation near the closet of the bedroom, and then the basement window would align with that second story window. It should be noted that we're looking at the new colored prints that were passed out today with the new survey.
Yeah, we'll make sure we get those in.
Yeah, I just wanted to note that because the windows and doors in the basement are different.
Okay.
The addition of a rectangular vent on the gable of the rear elevation. And that's it.
I'll second.
Who seconded?
I did.
Mrs. Frazier?
Yes.
Mr. Markovitz?
Yes.
Mr. Gillian?
Yes.
Mr. Midlick?
Yes.
Mr. Sharma?
Yes.
These passes. It's a nice home.
Thank you.
I did look at that lot a little bit, I was wondering if that was it.
Yeah, it's a beautiful lot. It really is.
Yeah, I know, I actually.
Yeah. On a good day, you can see that pond up
I
below.
thought that was almost part of the township there.
This township line, city line is at the back of the lot. So, yeah, it was almost township, but,
Years ago, I built a barn on the backside of the property there.
okay. Yeah, it's a beautiful lot. Thank you.
You know what, I never see it.
Thanks.
Used to be able to see it moving too.
And next we have the approval of the minutes from May 19th.
I'll move on that. I didn't, well, I didn't see anything wrong.
Any comments?
I have to abstain, I wasn't here, so.
Oh,
You don't have to abstain on that.
Oh, no.
I know,
Okay,
you don't have to.
okay.
Some people do.
yeah.
I watched the meeting, so,
Oh, okay.
yeah. And I did tell Tina 5 days before that I wasn't gonna be
Okay.
here, so.
I have
Contact
one
Jason in the building.
question about the minutes that may need a comment in. But on case item 3, case 220527, the 1, 2, 3, 4, the fourth bullet down, where we talked about needing additional doors, those were if required for exit, right? In order to kind of it.
When it says the architect, I was assuming it was the presenting architect, not one of us.
Okay. So maybe it doesn't matter what the comments do.
Right.
Okay.
He did discuss,
I mean, on the motion, we
he did discuss
add,
the need for additional doors, and he said that he submitted them on the large copies, and then we said.
And then that's when we got the large copies. Yep.
but also if you go to the motion that was made, it does say addition of a door on north elevation of the breezeway,
Which was shown on his large set of
Yeah.
drawings.
okay, yeah, that was on, I think.
And it does say this is on the other large set of submitted plans right after that.
Okay. All right, then
Yeah.
just want to make that.
Yeah, we didn't
make sure
add a
it's
door,
clear.
they presented the door, and in fact, we talked about the egress requirement, that they might actually need 2 doors.
Yeah.
One on the left, one on the right, but then there was an issue with it needing grade,
Right.
and that that's up to the plan reviewer to determine that they do or don't
If it
meet the,
needed to, on that
right.
breezeway. Because they did have the fire doors, shutters
Right.
coming down each end of it.
But typically in
But then he
a,
said there was also man doors through the fire shutters coming down.
yeah, but typically you're not
But
allowed
that's-
more than a 20-foot dead end corridor, and it's sprinkled, I don't think you get much more, maybe 50, and this is a 100. So I would have thought it would have needed 2 doors.
Yeah.
And so for architectural reasons, I was that they have to put stairs in, which means they'd be having to add on to the outside. They'd have to come back anyway if that would determine that in corridor. So,
Okay.
yeah.
So then, I'll motion to approve the minutes as written from last meeting. May 19th.
I'll second.
Mr. Gillian, did you say you second?
Yes.
Yeah. It's a-
Mr. Markovitz?
Yes.
Mr. Gillian?
Yes.
Mr. Midlick?
Yes.
Mr. Sharma?
Yes.
Mrs. Frazier?
Yes.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
We don't need to discuss the architectural review board summary and stuff, do we? That we
One
got
thing I
copies
did
of?
note, they sent us copies of it.
Yeah.
Somebody had requested we receive copies again.
Right.
But I, you requested, you didn't?
The chart or whatever? Yeah, I make sure that everybody gets one in the packet so we all can read it at home, so we don't have any questions.
Okay.
Motions.
I would note though that what they sent us is the charter before the ordinance in December that went through council.
The charter wouldn't change with the ordinance. The charter requires a vote of the people to change, if we're talking about charter.
I may be saying the wrong word. The information that we received, 1321.
Okay, that's the code. That's
The code?
That's
Right.
different.
Okay,
That
so
could be amended or changed through a vote of council.
Okay, so the code that we received from the building department last week in our packets was the code as had stood since the original code was written, but in December, there was an ordinance to change the code, and that is not what we received.
So the way-
If that ordinance changed the code, then this code that we received is considered outdated. So,
Can you explain now, Mr. Bill?
I can explain. So, you pass, not just for the year, you pass probably 200 ordinances or resolutions a year. And once a year, we have them codified. So I have a book that's this thick at home, and every year I get 150 pages of changes to laws for the police, for not necessarily planning, but all the things we incorporate that get put into those codes or those sections of our codified ordinances. Once they're codified, we have to send that out, and then another law firm reviews what was passed and implements it in the sections of the code where it would be. So you won't see that
until the.
possibly until November or December, because we are, so once the year ends, we send it to the lawyers, and it takes 6 to 7 months to get it back, because it's not an easy, again, I switch out, the book's this thick, it has posts through it, you have to take it out, there's 14 sections. It's a big change, and that's when those will be incorporated in there. We just don't arbitrarily incorporate changes of an ordinance into the code without it being done through that process.
Okay. This is the previous codified.
It is, and it wouldn't include what
And it
was done in
wouldn't
December,
include-
because I haven't gotten the next set of
Right.
corrections.
Okay.
I understand that you met with the law director, and he brought to my attention that there were some errors or some typographical errors in the ordinance that was passed that he was going to clean up. I don't know, I did not review specifics with him, but I was told that because he was not the lawyer that prepared that.
No, I understand that. Okay. So just noted that this may not be the.
I just wanted to have everybody have it, this is a general guideline.
Right, no, this still has all the information in it that I was referring to with blank walls, doors, windows, site conditions, things that we're supposed to consider when.
Yeah, I'm okay with all of that. I just didn't feel like the last case, the man door in the garage, it's just the door here, there's a garage door there, I feel like they want, they
Well,
got windows.
They put the windows in
Yeah.
there, they don't have blank walls, they used fenestration
But
instead.
that's why I was like, I don't care for a door on that one. adjourned?
Yes, the motion, yes.
I'll second.
Very nice meeting.
Mr. Sharma? Mr. Sharma?
Yes.
Mr. Markovitz?
Yes.
Mr. Gillian?
Yes.
Mr. Midlick?
Yes.
Mrs. Frazier?
Yes.
Motion to order a pizza and beers?
The meeting is adjourned at 6:50. Sorry, 6:40.
Yours is open now.
Yeah, I saw that.